How's it, folks? I am super, super excited to showcase a GPT that I built. So obviously, I think everyone knows that I've got a little small business. It's new, so I need all the support that I can get. It's called Ease into AI, and yeah, I pretty much teach a combination of AI, a bit of no coding, automation, and then I'm a qualified yoga teacher, so there's a wellness component to me as well. The reason I'm so excited about this GPT is that it's literally all of my brain. Like when people say, but like, why should we build a GPT? Why can't we just rely on old Chat GPT or any of our AIs for that matter? There's a massive difference. You have to remember that GPT has been trained on a general sort of humanities general knowledge. The cool thing about a GPT is it's got something or capability where you can kind of use your own sort of tacit knowledge. So, like, what's in your brain and what do only you know that you probably even struggle to tell, like your intern or a superior. Like, that is valuable knowledge. And if you had to leave the business, that would be a shame because one needs that knowledge. So, yeah, this prompting studio, and I want to show you now that I built, is literally it actually mimics the last kind of 4 years of my journey into prompting. Because for me, and those of you who've seen me on YouTube will know that prompting for me is a process. It's more than cool. How do we speak to the machines or the AI? This is as profound as the moment when humans first learned to read and write. It really is. It's more about communication for me than anything else. So, welcome to Ease into AI. This is my prompting studio. It's totally for free, which I think is very cool. I was smiling because I said in the beginning, as a new business owner, the reason that something like a GPT is cool is that if you like my free work, I've actually, and I'll show you the instructions, I've sort of subtly said in the instructions, if people want to see more of what I do, I've diverted them to my YouTube channel. So, yeah, that's a cool way to sort of see a GPT as a call to action or a bit of marketing, a bit of sales, and being a small business owner. Yeah, as I said earlier, I appreciate all the help that I can get. So, this is ChatGPT. GPTs, one needs a paid account. So just bear that in mind if you want to obviously practice and have a go. Guys, $20. I mean, even in South Africa, I often say to people, with all due respect, what can you do with 350 Rand? I mean, you're lucky if you can get a spur breakfast and a cup of filter coffee, if you are legitimately honest. And to pay ChatGPT $20 is for me always a pleasure. Not just because I can create a virtual kind of co-worker like a GPT, but because I'm a smaller setup, I don't have a marketing division. I don't have a sales division. I don't have human resources. And so I can use ChatGPT as that sort of that support system. But that's for another lecture. I want to show you how cool it is and how wonderful it was to build this GPT. So what you do is you come here literally to the left-hand side of ChatGPT, two GPTs, and I'm just going to change the screen. You see there's my GPTs, and then you press create. So we can go into my GPTs. I'll show you. These are, I said to you, I'm a combination of kind of wellness. So you can see there's a work Zen now. So I love to teach wellness at work because my big thing is if you are not well and at peace in your own human skin, well, then obviously you're not at your optimal best. And yeah, that's not good for the business or anyone really. So I often build kind of wellness GPTs. And then this is my Ease into AI prompting one. I've got one called Arnie, the Never Quit Quote Coach. That's for when you just have those days where you're like, "Ah, I wish somebody could just send 1 million Rand from the heavens." Like you just don't have the motivation. And this is quite cool. Arnie will kind of get you there. So these are the GPTs that I've built, but we're not going to go there today. Where I want to take you guys is to actually building one. So let's go back. GPTs, and you come here to press create. There are two ways to do it. I would say as a beginner, especially if you think, well, flip, how do I give it instructions and where am I going to get a picture? And God, I don't know how to build this. Guys, we're in the age of AI. This is literally, you could work with ChatGPT's internal AI and you can say whatever you want to build. Even if it's like a GPT for help me for suppers, there's two of us and we've only got I don't know, a $40 budget each day, and one of us is a vegan. And you can make like a little GPT for like a personal sort of project. That is very easy. You just literally you speak to it with voice, which you now can do, and you say, "Look, that's what I want you to be. So act like that." And it will build the whole GPT out for you. We're going to come into the configure part. This is where, and it is, you need time. It's more thoughtful. Now that the technical parts abstract a lot of the coding and the building, I always say what that means for the human is what user experience do we want somebody to have when they're using our GPT? So you really got to think long and hard about that. If you get stuck, remember, just go to Claude, go to Gemini, go to any of your AIs and say, look, I'm new to building. I haven't got a clue if this is best practice. Please help me. But we'll get to that later. So here you would press plus, and this is where you would upload a photo, or you could use DALL-E 3, which is the image generator. Here you would name it. So whatever you want to call it. Mine, I've done sort of plant-based GPTs, or maybe you want a financial investment guru, ChatGPT, or GPT rather, whatever it looks like. That's where you'd name it. There's the description. Here the instructions, the conversation starters, and then the knowledge is important. I spoke about something called tacit knowledge. So if you're going to build a GPT, then I think it makes sense to use all of the knowledge that's sitting on your desktop. So it's in your files, it's in your folders. Maybe it's in WhatsApp, maybe some of it's in Slack, some of it's in Notion. Like bring all of that together, because I think that's also part of the exhaustion of modern day working is everything is all segregated and everywhere. And the cool thing about a GPT is you can bring it all together and create a team of specialists. I mean, even GPT-5, the reason that it is next level is it literally is a mixture of experts and it's got a huge sense of agency, because we are moving into agentic AI. But again, I'll chat about all the different changes to GPT-5 in another message. This one is just walking you through how easy it is really to build a GPT, even though I've said I would suggest you do be thoughtful, because if you don't, then it will use the language that you find in the normal GPT. So you've got to think, well, do I want this person to give me these kinds of responses? So must it be succinct? How do you, as a manager, especially if it's going to be for a sort of somebody that works in your department and you're giving them instructions, think of how you would deliver those instructions. So, yeah, this is an age of really actually knowing yourself. So, back to the knowledge base, upload as much knowledge as you possibly can pertaining to this specific GPT. And then here you come to model recommended. You can do GPT-4, that's the legacy models, or 5, or the thinking. And then you literally come and press create here. So I'm going to actually come out of that because I want to show you the one that I've actually built. I can access it here on the side. That's where it lives. In my bar. But if you were to come here and you wanted to play with it, all you need to do is type in ease into AI and you can have a look at how quickly it comes up. There's lots of GPTs. Here it is. And there we go. That's literally me. The cool thing as well is again subtle branding and getting clientele to who you are as a builder. This links to my LinkedIn and that goes to my GitHub, which I think is just very, very, very cool. But let's come back to. I want to actually come back to the build because that's what this kind of demo is about. Let's go to GPTs. And I want to go to in the top right here, I want to go to mine because I need to go into edit. I want to please show you. You can, as soon as you hover over it, it lights up and you can see that says edit and this says delete, which we don't want to do. We want to edit it. So I'm not actually going to edit it. I want to show you how I have built ease into AI. So for me, what that looked like was, okay, first of all, that's my logo. So all I did was click into it and I uploaded my logo that was sitting on in one of my folders. The name, as you guys know, is Ease into AI. And then I added Prompting Studio because I wanted it to be a professional experience. I wanted people to know that it's a process. I think that's also the problem with prompting is the expectations. We think it's transactional and like Google search. I've asked it for something. Why didn't it give me what I wanted the first time around? It's you've got to have a mentality shift. And as we know, even with Google search, we never actually always got what we wanted. Maybe what we wanted was living on page 6, or we had to spend 10 minutes going past all the paid for stuff before we found what we found. Prompting requires the same level of patience and what they call iteration. So an exchange, you're going backwards and forwards. The first time you do it, you're probably not going to get exactly what it is you're wanting. The description is here. You can see it lives here as well. I said, we would like to stop getting vague answers and we want results in our voice. That's why I've said you've got to know how do you sound, because there's always a gap between what Nikki says and then what she thinks she says, and also how that's received to the user. So coming back to, these are the first words that somebody will see, by the way, when they are using my GPT. So I was very mindful here about how would I like people to find this. So I said it's a calm, step-by-step studio that teaches you prompting, keeps the focus tight, and checks in as you go. Because that's also another thing when you are learning. Often when I'm watching a YouTube video, I find myself stopping because I'm like, either that was said too quickly or I don't feel that I received what it is they were trying to say. So that's why I said when I trained it on the instructions, I said just check in with the person. Like, have they actually understood where we are up until now? And then we iterate together until the output fits your goal. That means that we're going to keep going until you're like, yeah, cool, I like this. This is decent. And yes, I'm going to use this for LinkedIn copy, or I'm going to use this to write that difficult email to my client. The cool thing as well is I've done some conversation starters, but we'll get to that in a bit. Let's just go back to the description, which I read to you. If you come here to instructions, you can actually enlarge it here, which I'm going to do. I just want to show you how thoughtful you have to be. It's as much as you can quickly build a GPT with AI, and it's fun. If you really, really want like a mini you, um, so when you're sick, that you know you can actually send this GPT to your secretary, and they will almost kind of mimic and be able to simulate how you sound in your correspondence. Then one has to be thoughtful. So this is my prompt. You are a prompt studio by Ease into AI. You teach practical prompting in small steps. Keep your replies short and human. You guide and then you check understanding. You remind the user that prompting is communication and takes practice. It really, really does. I practice every single day, almost kind of obsessively. I've actually got to watch that. But I love it. I'm fascinated by this time. I've also always said that the more I go into even basic automations, the more I realize, or the more I'm asking myself, well, what does it actually mean to be human, and where is my job now? Now that AI can take this, and that, what do I then get involved with? Anyways, back to the goals. Teach the user how to ask better questions. I mean, you get things like Socratic methodology, but that's also a big thing at the moment. Is I know we're getting frustrated with our AIs and all this tech in general, but often it's because we're not actually asking the right question. As cliched as that sounds, keep it light and share one clear step and then pause to check comprehension and understanding. Who is my audience? Beginners and busy people feeling utterly overwhelmed by AI. So that's why I said use plain English, no jargon, no leverage this, no unlock that, no I hope it lands. Like I live in Cape Town, South Africa, and I need to make sure that it's imitating and mimicking who I am. So that's why I've been quite clear. That's why even in the voice and style, how you see, I've said keep it calm, consulting mindset, succinct, avoid words that the creator dislikes. I think I've shared those with you. And then my default reply is whenever the user's interacting is cool. That's the AI just double checks, almost like you're in therapy. Okay, so this is what you are saying, or it says here in this case, what I heard was, and it kind of repeats what you've input, which I think is very powerful. Because if you get cross and you're like, no, 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 that's not what I want, where did it start? It started with you, and read what you've said. If that's not what you want, then one needs to ask it in another way. So it's like a time to be fully accountable almost when you're prompting. And then the mantra is end every reply with a mantra below an auto pen, which is, I'll get it. This is how long the prompt is. Instructions. Prompting is a process. First drafts are a start, keep going. Now, I really, really do mean that. I want to come back here to where we were, because I think the expectation again with prompting is huge in that, if you were in some sort of, let's say you were at varsity and one of your teachers was like, cool, I want you to write a thesis, but you will take no breaks. And you will write it from the moment that your pen hits the paper till the last sort of full stop. You'll write it all in one go. I mean, that's just crazy. You'd be like, no, I need to stop and check and see if things make sense and reason. And that's the same. We need to give that same space to our AIs and also to ourselves as we are learning. Pause, take breaks, make sure things go in step by step sort of increments. Anyways, back to the prompt. Teaching rules, clarity always, ask for goal, audience, format, and constraints if missing, and explain. There's no perfect prompt. I can't say that enough. The reason I know this, go to YouTube right now and type I want to get better at prompting, or however you'd like to phrase that. You will be inundated with tutorials. There are cheat sheets and courses and promises and profits, and it's a process, and the best thing you can do is learn by doing. And that's why I created this GPT to try and help you to start getting into that kind of mindset. Iteration, so the backwards and the forwards, the length, keep answers under 120 words unless the user asks for more. That's also a big thing with AI, just water flows and outputs, and you kind of glaze over it and just go like, whoa, that's just too much. Well, that's how I feel. So I want my GPT to move in small steps. I've given it links, which I think is very cool. So I want to invite them to come and study with me, come and do my workshop. So I've said this is my website. If you like this, then I refer them on to a YouTube video I had done, interestingly enough, on prompting. So that's why I said it can be a very cool kind of marketing tool, as long as you keep it subtle. I mean, obviously, if that's not your vibe and you want to go full on, go for it. That's why I said a soft call to action here. I've put conversation starters because a lot of the times I've built things and people have been like, oh, I didn't know how to interact with your chip AI. That's another gorgeous platform that I use. And then I realized, hang on, let's put some conversation starters, and I'll show you what that looks like just now after we get out of this instruction template. It's a long prompt. I've said put use cases in, explain it. I think I'm showing you this because I'll be honest, the best way to make sure that the instructions are best practice and it doesn't infuriate the user, use OpenAI's prompt optimizer. So write the instructions to the best of your known capabilities, and then get the optimizer to literally optimize it. I'll actually put the link down for OpenAI's prompt optimizer. It's an amazing resource. So we close that. Those are the instructions. Here are my conversation starters. It's these ones here. So I've said like, oh, why is AI so vague? Or why are my prompts not working? What's a use case? How do I even get what a use case is? And we'll test this out in a bit. My knowledge base is just things I've built on other tools like Gamma AI. I did a huge thing on what I feel prompting is from my voice, from my experience. And so I've added that there to share with the user, as well as a use case template. And then I haven't clicked web search or any of the capabilities of GPT because I actually am forcing it to dig into the knowledge base and the instructions. That for me is the whole point of a GPT is rather use the knowledge that Nix, the creator, has trained you on. And then you come here and you usually you press create, but I'm going to press update here because maybe something's kind of changed here. And the cool thing about that is I should get a pop-up now just saying, do I want to, here we go. It says here, do you want to copy it or do you want to view the GPT? Let's view the GPT because we want to, one of the things when you build a GPT, by the way, is you want to test it. Because if you don't test it and then you send it out into the world and you wonder why no one's kind of giving you feedback, it's maybe the experience is overwhelming or annoying or not great. So let's test. Why are my prompts not working? That's a big one. A lot of people are like, oh, just feels like it's giving me garbage, So here it says, this is the instructions saying, cool, what I heard is you feel your prompts are not working and it's frustrating. Yeah, that's what I said. Cool. So next move, prompts often miss because what you mean, what you type, and what the AI interprets are not the same. That is huge. That's a gold mine there. Literally meditate on that. The simple fix is to slow it down and add clarity. So state in plain words, what problem do you want solving? So here's an example. Your role, you're a teacher. What's what's the goal here? Well, I want to explain why my mails feel too formal. Who's the audience? It's for me. The constraint means how long do you want it to be? So just under 80 words, plain and simple, text, paste, draft email here. So then it says checkpoint. It says, would you like to try rewriting one of your own prompts with that 4-part frame? So we could do that, or if you look here at the bottom, my mantra again, just for the user, that's prompting is a process, guys. Keep going. The other cool thing is I've added this free prompt generator, which I absolutely love. I wish I could say I made it. I didn't. I'll also add this in the video comment in a bit. But this is incredible. These are all the things you need to think about when you are talking to AI, and it's a lot. Like, what's the task? What's the problem? Topic? What is it? Is it a blog post? Is it a sales email? We'll go through all of it now. But here's the task. You can choose from a cold mail to a YouTube video to a tweet. Let's do this. Let's say we want to write a cold email. What's the topic? I'm going to say need new clients in who I can train in AI no code workshops. And then the style, well, is it academic? No, this is a business email. Do I want it to be casual? So these are all the tones you've got to think of when you are talking to AI. It's a lot. This is why this little free prompt generator helps a lot. Let's go for persuasive because obviously it would be cool to get a client of one or two of these cold emails. My tone, definitely don't want to be angry, confident, encouraging. I'd like to be professional. Who's my audience? Let's assume that we're talking to 40-year-olds. Length, 2 paragraphs is cool, and the format is great. Do you want text, hypertext markup language? So do you want code or text? We want text. And look at that. Just in seconds, it's automated your prompt. And all you got to do is press this little copy the prompt, and you open up another tab. Let's come into ChatGPT. Then I drop that into ChatGPT, yes. And I press my little pink button and have a look here. And here it is. Subject, bring your team up to speed with AI no-code tools. hi, and then add your first name. Many teams are curious about AI and automation, but don't know where to start. I run workshops. Again, not bad for a first version. And this is again where I would iterate because I don't enjoy the word curious. But my point is this is available in our GPT. It's always, I've actually built this into instructions, always add that, which I think is great. And then you can come back to these little three buttons. We can delete that. I can, as you know, I can end up sharing this. Yeah, I can share that if I wanted to a person in my, maybe I want to share this with the creator if I wasn't happy with the result, because that again is like kind of good feedback. And we can keep going. Now I can say to it, in fact, I'm going to talk to it. Let's do some voice or diction. Can you please help me with a use case? Like everyone's going on about use cases, but I don't even know how to even start with something like that. Can you help me? So there we go. With voice, we've spoken to our GPT. Cool. And it says, you want me to help you start creating a use case because you don't know how to begin. You're feeling unsure. Cool. Let's keep it light. So, how AI could help? What does success looks like? So these are great places to start. What does a successful week look like for you? What repetitive same tasks are you doing? Which documents and even programs are you continuously going in and out of? These are ways that AI can help you as well as no coding. This is where you get your use cases where you like, hang on, I keep creating Boolean strings when it comes to hiring. Well, let's build a GPT. They can be the Boolean specialist so that, because often a lot of what we do follows the same course and it's kind of almost a template for want of a better word. And that's where GPT is useful. You can train it on all of your templates and the things that you know are evergreen and kind of don't change. So this was a very nice interaction. A good week for me is the tasks that drain me are. That's incredible. So now you guys can see this is my little ease into AI prompting studio, my little GPT. And yeah, I think that the only other thing I can say to you is keep keep practicing, keep playing in playgrounds. And I hope that this video was useful in terms of why should I build a GPT? Like why is it different from everything else that exists? It's just remember it's massively different. What you alone expertly know and haven't possibly shared, or people come to you because they know like that's the person to ask when it comes to like books or paddle. You can build a GPT for that, and other people can also find you online. So, yeah, keep easing into AI and looking forward to seeing you guys soon again.